small engines galore. On this episode, we are changing some stuff on the front end on this mower. Basically, the issue that I'm running into with this mower, as you guys will have seen if you watched yesterday's video, is that this thing experiences bump steer, which it's exactly what you would think. When you hit a bump, it will dart one direction or the other with the steering, and that's not fun. So basically what we're going to do in this video is correct that. The other thing we're going to do is this tire comes awfully close to this hood even when it's straight, and when we turn, like right there, we're into the hood. We haven't even hardly turned yet. So I'm going to extend the width of the front end on this thing because that'll make it more stable yet, and it'll hopefully make it so I can run a hood on this thing without having to have the tire rub it the whole time. So yeah, stay tuned guys, let me show you what we're gonna do. So basically what we're doing in this video, like I mentioned before, we're widening this front axle and we are giving it some negative castor to hopefully help with some high-speed stability. So basically all we're doing here is I'm gonna pull this axle out of this mower, drop it all out with the wheels, spindles, everything on it, doesn't matter. Wheels will probably come off. Anyways, we're gonna take this, we're gonna slice it right about here, and we are gonna tilt this spindle backwards a little bit, where the front of this is facing further forward and the top of this is facing further back. For this reason, the reason for this is because it will improve our high-speed stability in the reason that it's harder for it to turn. So it'll be a little bit harder for us to initially get that turn in, which is okay though, because this thing turns in really, really easy. If anything, maybe a little too easy. Then the other thing we're gonna do is while this is cut, we're gonna extend this with another bit from another axle. This one right here is toast. You can see it split at the mid weld here, and the center bushing thing is coming out on this side. This side is okay, but that's okay. We're gonna take this and we're gonna get rid of this cracked up destroyed bit, and we're gonna take a section out of this smaller bit and add it in. So we'll take it like this to this. We'll make it wider. In doing this, we're gonna have to extend the tie rod, which is totally fine. I'm gonna show you how to do all of this. So yeah, stay tuned guys. Basically guys, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna unhook this tie rod right here, which comes from the steering box down to the spindle. This tie rod's gonna stay in here for now because we're gonna end up cutting it and extending it. To undo this guy, you're gonna need a 1/2 inch wrench on the top and a 9/16 wrench or socket down below. Right guys, so your next step is to undo the bolt that holds the main axle to the axle plates, and that is this bolt. You're gonna need a couple 24 millimeters and it should come out. And then now I should be able to jack this out and knock this axle out. As I got the axle out, it's on our vise now. So now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna slice this right about here where the axle's been contacting the frame. You can see because smashed the seam out of it. We're gonna cut it here, and we're gonna cut a section of that other axle, widen this out, and then this section of the axle is gonna get tilted back like this so that we have more castor. Now that we have this section of axle chopped off of this axle, I went ahead and chopped this section out of this axle. What we're gonna do now is simply butt this up against each other, weld it up, and weld it to this end of the axle, and we will be this much wider at our wheel stance, which should hopefully keep our tires from being in the hood the whole time. All right guys, so as you guys can see, the garage is all smoky still from my greasy grease welding. Anyways, here is my new section of axle tacked, actually fully welded into place, I guess, not even tacked, but fully welded into place. And as you guys can see, there is still a fair bit of grease inside of those axles, but they will be totally fine. So now that I have this piece on, I can put this piece, after I clean it up, on here, like this, but tilted like this, so that it has some castor. So yeah, stay tuned for that, guys, and I will show you after we're done doing a little bit of this. I'll just tack it on and then I'll show you guys, and then we'll fully weld it and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I have my third piece of axle welded in, or just tacked in, but here is the angle for my castor. You can see my castor is a bit more than the steering axle. I don't want it too much because then it won't be able to steer easy, but I think we got this thing good, so I'm gonna finish welding this and then we'll do the other side and we'll extend the tie rod as needed. All right, this is ugly as can be, but here's my extended tie rod for now. I will make it better another day. For now, let's put this axle back in the tractor and we'll see how it looks. I got the new front end installed on this tractor. As you can see, that spindle seemed to have more camber than it did before, which is whatever. I don't really care at this point. I still got to adjust the toe a little bit. This wheel is still towed out a bit, but overall, it is definitely wider than it was before, front to back, but that's okay. I'm just gonna try this hood out and we'll see how close tires get to the hood. Here is the biggest change. Take a look at how much gap there is between the inside edge of that tire and the hood. Even on this side, it's pretty good with this super huge amount of camber. Oh yeah, that looks wider from on here too. So let's just try turning. Okay, that's full lock. We're just touching the hood on that side. Way better than it was before. And on this side, full lock, and we're not even at the hood. The reason why we're closer on this side is because the top of the tire is tipped in so far. But oh well, this is awesome. We went on a quick test drive there, and it seems way more stable in the straights where it's no problem, but going around corners, as you can see by this white mark on the floor, this tie rod drags. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, weld a section over top between about here and here, and I'm just gonna eliminate the section that comes down so that we can have it clearing, and then we should go for a proper good test run. This is our steering tie rod. You can see where it's been contacting the ground because there's no more paint on it. So basically that whole length right there. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna weld a section of, I don't know, something like this round bar between about here and here, and then we're gonna just eliminate this section where it's been dragging, and in theory we should have clearance everywhere else on this tractor to the ground so far. The tie rod ends at the bottom admittedly are very close, but they do clear. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna do that and I'll show you guys as I'm doing this, and then we'll go for another good test drive and see how fast we can go. Guys, I got the tie rod modified right there. I know it's ugly, but it clears the ground, so we're gonna rock it. And yes, this tie rod does touch this, especially when you're turning left, but that's okay because when it stops turning, the tire just about touches the hood. It's close, but not quite. So this is gonna help me save my hood. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for a quick test drive now, and I'll bring you guys along with me. Alright guys, so we just went for a quick test drive again. It seems way more stable, but my camera mount kept falling off, so I gotta figure out how to get the suction cup to stick to here better, because the speedometer keeps falling off. I did just kind of have it dangling like this for a bit, and I went down the road and I hit 47, so that's alright. Not on camera obviously, because I couldn't hold the camera and do my run just in case something went wrong, but it does seem like it is a lot more stable, which is good. Even on that bumpy gravel road, I can just zip down it and it doesn't seem to be pulling like this way and that way all the time, so that's awesome. So let me figure out how to get my suction cup on there better, and then let's go for a test ride down the road and see what we can hit on our GPS speedometer with the camera on.
Alright guys, so this run was pretty cool. I got to hit close to 50 kilometers an hour on this run. We actually hit 47 or 48. I'm still unsure as to what we hit because the camera is not picking up the speedometer as well as it was yesterday, so I'm not sure what is going on with that. But yeah, here's a run.
Thanks for watching.
here was just a bit of a short video clip from our run, and that was awesome. This thing hit 47 kilometers an hour, maybe 48, I'm not sure. I'll have to check my video to see for sure. I know I definitely saw 47, so it's still pretty quick for a lawn tractor, and I think this thing's got more in it, so we'll maybe try that on another video. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the support to everybody. As of right now, as I'm speaking, I have 73 subscribers, and that number is only going up, which is awesome. So yeah, thanks for everyone's support, and yeah, peace. Alright guys, you know what? I'm also going to get some other camera mounts, because holding my iPhone while I'm zipping down the road on this thing is not really safe. So stay tuned. In another video, I am going to have better camera mounts, like probably a helmet mount, or at least something that'll clip to the steering wheel, because I really want to see how fast this thing goes, but I'm not prepared to do it just holding it with one hand. Anyways, thanks for watching.